All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for attending our IBM Customer Care Clonakilty Whiskey Tasting event. We're going to have a great event. If you have any questions, please pop them into the Q&A or the chat, and we'll do our best to get those answered. If we do not get to your question, we will email you the answer after the presentation. All right. And David Luftig was going to kick us off. David, are you out there?
I am here. Can you hear me okay, Andy?
I can hear you. Excellent.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thanks everybody. Thank you everyone for joining. Just to kick off here, I'll give a little overview of the agenda of today's session and a little overview on Converge, and then we'll kick it off to the rest of the team. So again, thanks everyone for joining. And Jackie, if you could jump to the next slide. All right, so for the agenda, as I mentioned, I will go through some opening remarks, a little bit about Converge, and then we'll pass it off to Jackie from our team, who will go over our analytics portfolio and some product overview. And then Vincent will go through from the Intelepeer side some of their offerings. And then Dr. Jonathan Goff will take us through some use cases. Bradley from IBM will take us through a demo. And then we get to the fun part where we get to do the whiskey tasting with the Clonakilty team. So again, thanks everyone for joining. And we'll jump to the next slide, Jackie. Oh, people are saying they can't hear, Annie.
Okay.
Everyone can say they can hear. So one person can't hear. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Excellent.
Then I will keep on going. So lots of chats flying through on that. Just very quickly on Converge, for those of you that don't know us or know us as maybe some of our former logos. Converge has been on a path over the last 4.5 years to bring together companies of similar culture with strong capabilities in different platforms, different niche capabilities, different practice areas across North America and now even Europe, with strong client relationships and strong partnerships. Really with the purpose of really creating that one unified organization across what will effectively be the world over time. So while you see that we've gone through 30 acquisitions to date and already 5 this year, the integration strategy to bring the companies together and bring the skills and capabilities together is really, we definitely have a good rhythm with that. So jumping to the next slide. So those 30 organizations with their client relationships, right, really boil down to what are our 5 go-to-market regional models, right? So Northeast, Southeast, Central, West, and Canada. And for those of you that have worked with us for many years, nothing changes in terms of the engagement model, right? Your account executive that you work with, the teams that you work with, you still work with those same teams. The difference is that the practices and capabilities, which I'll talk about in a minute, really come behind those teams to offer more of the strength and capabilities that we have as an organization. The other thing I just want to point out on this slide is that, with over 800 and probably now over 900 technical team members, we are very unique in the national, I'll call it VAR space, right? In that many of our peers that are this size don't have the technical breadth and depth that we have. And the organization in terms of the practice areas that we have. So our ability to not just sell the solutions, but truly deliver on the business solutions, the use cases that you may have, and drive that value is very unique for us. And anything that we could do to obviously help partner in solving some of those significant complex use cases, we would love to do and love to get a chance to work with you on. So jumping to my last slide, which is our practice areas, right? So you could see in terms of those 900 technical people that I talked about before, organizing those people into the practice areas, into our technical capabilities, so that we do have a unified approach. We're going to talk today, obviously, a lot about our analytics practice and everything that we do there. But we also have practices in our application modernization space, which covers a lot of things, right? Everything from modernizing those legacy applications, moving to container-based environments, right? Introducing DevOps or improving DevOps capabilities, right? The integration, the middleware techniques, supporting our clients on the cloud platform side, right? So whether it be a infrastructure as a service journey, getting out of the data center, or helping to evolve what you're doing in the cloud platforms with the public hyperscalers, and helping with the health of those environments. Very strong capabilities. Our most recent acquisition was a company that was very focused in cybersecurity, so now our cybersecurity team has grown significantly. Everything from your traditional cybersecurity consulting work, pen testing, vulnerability testing, tabletop exercises, and obviously to product implementation work that we do across our cybersecurity portfolio. A long legacy and heritage in the digital infrastructure space, working with all the large and even many of the niche vendors that are there to really bring together solutions that are the best fit for the problem, not just because we work with one OEM necessarily. And then on the digital workplace side, right, bringing together those end user tools, right? So whether it be your collaboration tools, your mail tools, your unified communication tools, the ability to not just implement that, but also to enable, train, integrate that into the work experience of the employee. For all of these services, right, we provide advisory services, we provide implementation services, we provide managed services, and then we also have a large talent services team, which is really to support the recruiting needs, both of our own internal teams as well as our clients as needed. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jackie to take it from here. Again, thank you everyone for joining, and I hope everyone has a great time.
Off mute here. Great. Thanks, David. And thank you guys, everybody, for joining. So as we're kind of peeling back the layers here of Converge, I wanted to start with an introduction to the advanced analytics practice. We're a large practice. We have, of those huge amounts of technical resources, we have 70 people that are living and breathing advanced analytics every day. And when we talk about advanced analytics, and as we go through this presentation, I think it's really important to defining the word that we are speaking about. You hear the term advanced analytics a lot, Watson and AI. And as we go through, we'll continue to drive into what each of those areas mean. But for the purposes of today's conversation that we're having, we're focusing in the AI and machine learning capabilities of our practice. Around that, we also do have capabilities of organizing and analyzing, collecting data, helping clients to visualize that information, and even going into the financial and operational planning. But when we're talking about customer care, it's all about using AI and machine learning in order to help drive those better customer experience and allow you guys to do more with less. And why are we talking about this, and why really is Converge, with our large heritage, somebody that we really know about in this space? It's because we've been top IBM Watson partners from the start, harking all the way back to the Jeopardy days. So we've grown up a lot, or we've seen Watson grow up alongside of us, and we've really seen the areas in which it started and where it is today and how it's helping many clients. So as we go into kind of what AI means in the context of Watson, and the two words really are synonymous, right? When we're talking about Watson and AI, it can mean a few different things, whether it is helping computers to act as a human would with enabling process automation, or understanding natural language processing and understanding the way that a human would, or even getting into predictive analytics and understanding that next best action. Watson and AI can help do this. And the reason why it can is because it's all being underpinned by machine learning, meaning that the more that Watson is working with you and your clients, the smarter that it's getting, and it's understanding how the interactions are working and how it can help your customers. So there's many different ways and terms that you'll hear Watson, and today we're focusing on specifically Watson Assistant and the conversational AI for the enterprise. So let's start first with understanding, why is conversational AI for the enterprise really important? It's really because think about your own shoes and who you are. Who wants to wait for answers? All of your customers and even ourselves personally want things to get done fast and easy, wherever, whenever we're trying to find those answers. We don't want to wait, and we want to find the answers to our questions today. And that's because self-service and the rise of the internet and people being able to find questions rapidly is really the way that all clients are approaching the way that they interact with different businesses. So how can Watson help this area? What Watson Assistant is, it's a conversational AI platform that allows you to engage with your clients across any channel when they want, with what answers they're looking for. It uses AI to understand the needs and the intent of what the clients are asking. So when they come in with different questions to your website, they can really begin to Watson can begin to understand in an exact natural language what the customer is asking and point them to the right direction. And the way that it does this, if you think about the way that most organizations offer multiple different channels on their website, whether that's FAQs or self-service blogs, portals, emails, all these different things, they're all disconnected in different areas, and customers have to go to many different pages or channels in order to find the information that they're looking for, or be bounced around and put on hold to get to the right person who can answer those questions. But what Watson can do is it can sit in between all of those different channels in order to search across all of those different data points that you guys have already collected in one space, so you're giving consistent answers. It can also be deployed across many. So when you build once on your chat, those same answers and the same can be over phone, helping your customer service agents, and anywhere you want, Watson can help understand and be able to answer to those questions. When we're looking at how Watson Assistant can actually help and function, I like this visualization quite a bit. On the left-hand side, we have your customer that's coming into your website, with questions, whether that is, how do I change my password? Or in a banking scenario, my debit card is expiring, when can I expect a new one? Typically in the past, they'd have to call in to a call center or go into in person to ask these questions, but now with Watson, they'd be able to get right on the website and start to perform those transactions right there. Interacting with Watson right out of the box as a widget on your web page or anything like that, they would be able to ask their questions in natural language to the system, and it would be able to go out and find that right documentation no matter where it's sitting. This is great for those common questions that you may have for a bot to be trained. But what else it can do is if Watson doesn't understand what a customer is asking, and we've all had this experience of a frustrating experience of a bot where it doesn't understand, it can do a couple different things. And this is the key differentiator. What it can do is it can seamlessly go out and search again those FAQ posts, those blogs that you may have, and pull the right answers back to the customer. Or more importantly, understand when a customer is getting frustrated and it needs to transfer on to a live agent. Keeping the dialogue that's already been happened so people don't have to replace or restate their information, and the agent knows exactly where they are. This can all happen seamlessly as a final resort. And even more importantly, with Watson's Assistant's machine learning capabilities, it can then begin to learn from its mistakes and see the areas in which it did need to transfer off to an agent, when necessary. Now, of course, there are the areas in which you want your agents to be able to have that personal interaction, which is great. But what Watson Assistant does is all of those lower level questions that are frequently asked that people need help with, we can have Watson focus on those areas and have your agents focus on the more difficult tasks. This leads to lower hold times and increased customer satisfaction so people can get the answers that they need when they need it. In the spirit of kind of defining terms like we did at the beginning, when we're talking about customers in general, customers can mean, the traditional customers in the sense, helping to assist in that customer service and sales and marketing. But we're also seeing an increased use of customers being internal employees themselves, helping with HR questions and benefits or IT assistance, or even IT assistants to answer those questions that we might not have the resources or people to be answering these questions, and allow people whenever they want outside of normal business hours to be able to ask their HR department or IT department questions. And finally, the final customer that we're seeing that's interacting with Watson Assistant are our contact center agents specifically. Dr. Goff later will talk about a use case here, but sometimes contact center agents need to be able to interact with a virtual assistant to help them find the documentation that's needed in order to answer the client's questions. And they don't have time to sort through all of those different blog posts or FAQs or even tech manuals, and need to be able to find that information quickly. This is also an area in which Watson Assistant can help. So we've covered a little bit of these things, but what makes Watson Assistant, a little bit different from the traditional bots that we see out there? One is that you get a great experience right out of the box. IBM has made sure that out of the box capabilities, you can get this solution up and running quickly. We've seen people build and deploy chatbots during the COVID area in a matter of a couple days to get those questions answered very quickly with a seamless interface. What's also really important is that because Watson Assistant is so simple to build, you don't need to be an expert and technical. IBM has really taken a focus of allowing this tool to be used by business users, the people who really understand the types of questions that customers are asking, and allowing them to define how Watson Assistant is going to work. It can also integrate with anything. Our friends from Intelepeer shortly will be talking a little bit about the great integrations capabilities, but Watson Assistant can be integrated across any channel. And when we're talking about any channel, that's website, social media, into phone systems, anything that you guys currently have in place, Watson Assistant can sit in between. And finally, it's built for the enterprise. And what I mean by this is it's secure, it's scalable, and it's private. IBM does not use the data that you're using or interacting with Watson Assistant to train their models or really have access to it and look at it, which is extremely important when we're talking about privacy. Finally, Watson Assistant can be deployed into any language, so you can easily build out if you have multilingual capabilities. When we're talking about it being scalable, currently today, and I think this number might be a little low, but over 160 million end users are interacting with Watson Assistant every month. This is roughly 2% of the world's population, which is a pretty staggering number if you think about it. So I would hazard a guess that many people on this call have interacted with IBM's Watson Assistant in some way, shape, or form and not even known it. And that could be because the agents are using it in the background, or your company's using it, or even sitting on the chats to get the answers that you need. So we've talked a lot about, the virtual assistants, but a lot of people have, that's all great. But what about call centers and social communications? So we have brought in Vincent from Intelepeer to talk a little bit more about this area.
Thank you, Jacqueline, and thanks everyone for joining the Converge Converge Technology session this afternoon, and it's a pleasure to talk a little bit about Intelepeer. So you might not have heard about Intelepeer a lot, but let me give you some insights. And Jacqueline, if you give me take me to the next chart. IBM has decided that all aspects of telephone messaging integration to Watson, so the whole understanding on how the telephonic side of the business works, is not an IBM development, but they teamed up with the company called Intelepeer, who has a proven track record in this space. So Intelepeer is the integrated part of the IBM Watson offering for all voice and messaging infrastructure, the phone infrastructure, the messaging infrastructure to connect to your call centers, to connect to your agents in any way possible. And we have advanced knowledge in that. We have, what I said, a 17-year track record. We really understand the complexities about this business, advanced call routing, call analytics, IVR integration or replacement, redundancy, disaster avoidance, and the whole structure to deliver a 5.9 reliability for your environment. And we integrate with all the key players in the market. We have a lot of open APIs. We connect to all the major UCaaS platforms, all the major contact center suppliers, and of course, many telco networks. So we and IBM are really working hand in glove as Intelepeer delivering the voice and messaging capabilities. Jacqueline, if you take it to the next chart. So a little bit more about Intelepeer. I won't go into too much detail. You have the charts here. We have about 3,000 clients, 10 million users. What I said, 17 years in the business. And we are extremely proud on our support structure. The 5 nines, the 24/7, 365, high client satisfaction, won multiple Stevie Awards, and have a lot of client references. And of course, we support all the compliance requirements necessary in this industry. So although it's a small company, it has a very strong proven record, and many of the large enterprise clients feel very comfortable to work with IBM Watson and Intelepeer in an integrated way. If you can take it to the next one, John. So just for your information, I showed the left side of this chart before, the voice and messaging, but we also do offer our own communication platform as a service technology. We work with clients that use some of our offerings in combination with Watson, and sometimes we work with Watson just on the voice and the messaging. But we have our own bot building capabilities, our inside tools. But as said, most of the larger engagement that we do with the IBM teams are leveraging IBM Watson as the digital bot environment and all the capabilities there, speech to text, text to speech, natural language processing, integrated with our voice and messaging capabilities. We can take it to the next, Jacqueline. So why do clients work with Intelepeer? I mentioned some of that before. We are very fast to deploy. We work in a low-code, no-code environment compared to other vendors in this space where implementing a new use case sometimes takes 6 to 9 months. We can get projects up and running in a matter of hours and days. Large integrations with hundreds of thousands of calls, complex scheduling environments, especially in the COVID time. We implement extremely fast with almost no development work needed. We are very open. As I said, our APIs connect to basically any vendor in this industry, UCaaS, CCaaS. The APIs make it really, really good for integrating with the client's other systems and environments. Our own network structure delivers the 5 nines. And of course, that is very helpful for our clients. They get a reliability and a proven track record that is extremely high, and that reflects in a very high NPS that we receive from our clients. So 4 key areas why Intelepeer and Watson combined really delivers an extremely strong offering to the market. If you can take it to the next. So just on a high level, how do we work together with IBM? So we are an integrated part of IBM. If you would go to IBM Cloud, you select IBM Watson, you want to immediately activate a number for a telephone integration or SMS integration. You can do that on the spot, self-serve, completely API driven. Within below 90 seconds, your number is up and running. You can start working with the phone integration to your Watson environment. Very easy. You can use it for demonstration purposes, POC, or you can just start using it. So that is what we call the self-service side. And on the other side, what we call the more complex customer configuration environments, where we work with the IBM Watson team, but also with partners like Converge Technology, that we really work on more complex client projects together to really leverage the capabilities of both organizations in custom configurations. And we work with large retail organizations. Several of the states are using us. We have references in the financial services space, in the insurance industry. So we really have a proven track record with many of the IBM enterprise accounts. And then finally, Jacqueline, if you can take it to the next. So if you think about use cases, and Jonathan will talk about that more, but things about appointment scheduling, small businesses, large organizations, how do you streamline your whole appointment scheduling structure, more and more messaging based? Clients are calling in but want to get a message back. We all live in this world every day. We have a lot of good reference accounts. Some of them are in the backup of this presentation that show our area there. But we also work with financial institutions about payment processes, credit card activation, and the whole area around financial services. And we're doing more and more with companies around reputation management. We all know that many people, if they don't recognize the number, they block the number. How can you be sure that the reputation of your company is improved by leveraging the right technologies, that the people that you call or send a message to is also really opening it and not just immediately blocking it? So areas like reputation management, payment processing, and scheduling are just three areas where we are very strong in bringing solutions to the market. So I just want to give you a quick update on the partnership with Watson. We work very close with the Dave Luftig, the Converge team, with Charlie and Jonathan. So reach out to your friends at Converge, or you can always reach out to me directly, and we will look forward to work with you to develop some of these projects together. Let me now give it over to Jonathan.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. So the question is, where have we implemented this? Where have others implemented this? On the next slide, the answer is basically everywhere, right? Public sector, private sector. We've implemented this in healthcare. We've implemented it in legal sector, pharmaceuticals, telecommunications, and even manufacturing. We've got clients all over the spectrum. Watson has been able to show value in many different ways. The first example I want to talk about on the next slide is actually a debt collection agency. This agency was having issues, obviously, people paying their bills. They implemented Watson, and they were able to increase the payment rates by about 30+%, just making it easier for clients to get answers. I don't know about you, but when the off chance a debt collector has called me for something, it's not something that I'm excited about doing. And having a chatbot and interaction to be able to facilitate and make that an easy process is extremely important. And they found that proved itself out. We worked with them implementing voice dialogue. We help them improve their transcription accuracy as well, and help them modernize their phone system, leveraging Intelepeer. On the next slide, a very special one close to my heart, right, is we worked with a major public transportation system to create a virtual agent. We leveraged Watson for both the voice-based and also the chatbot virtual agent integrated into their phone systems. It made it easier for users to call in and be able to get better information on delays, on when vehicles were going to be showing up, and finding the right route, optimizing that route for people in need. I live in a major city, and I know when visiting other cities, information can sometimes be sparse, not as good as it is in New York City. Maybe I'm prejudiced, but having a way to get that information and making it tactile is so important for them. It increased overall satisfaction significantly. One acute to our current situation on the next slide was working with a major health department, being able to answer questions. This was a very critical implementation that happened in early 2021. Sorry, it's been a pandemic. I can't remember what year it is anymore. But right at the front end of the pandemic, we worked with them to implement virtual agent using Watson. Because as I'm sure you know, at health centers, that call time about questions about, finding an appointment. Is my insurance going to cover this? Getting help the height of the pandemic. Watson dramatically helped this major health department scale by scaling virtually and not with personnel. It also allowed a lot of their users to be able to work safely from home. And when Watson wasn't able to answer a question, it was passed on to those users. And then the last example I'll talk about before I pass over to Bradley, who's going to give us an amazing demo. Using the technology of Watson, we actually did something sort of fun. It was a Buffalo Wild Wings event where we used Watson to grade different Buffalo Wild Wings locations to identify which location had the greatest fans. Using speech to text and natural language understanding, and some custom development by our team, we were able to grade which bar had the most excitement and most engagement in the game going on, sort of differentiating between that natural chatter of what did you do at work today to, oh my gosh, that score was amazing. So these are just a couple examples of what Watson can do, but the proof is really in the pudding. And I'm really excited for you to see it in action. So with that, I'll pass it to Bradley.
Thanks so much, John. I appreciate that. So this is going to be the section where we can kind of take a break from the slides and kind of just look at what Watson looks like in action. And in order to do that, I'm going to reference a demonstration I had to put together recently for a leading car rental agency, where we found, like most retailers, have making an attempt to get to better customer services, but it's not quite there. So when we first go to their website, they've already offered us with two different options to get in contact with their customer service or to really find answers to the questions that we need. We can either browse their FAQs or go to their contact us page, right? And this is a page that we're all too familiar with, right? Going into your favorite retailer or your favorite, your health insurance, or even some of the more use cases that Jonathan talked about. But going to their online presence and trying to find those options can be kind of mundane. And here we only see that you can try to do the live chat, but if it's only between certain hours on the weekends, it provides an issue for your customers to not be able to have access to you or your answers to really increase your satisfaction around the clock. So what we did is we put together a short little demo to show them what their customer experience could look like when we implement something like Watson Assistant on their digital channels in order to really provide that personalized experience and get your customers to answers faster without having to have a live agent on hand all the time. So let's see what that would look like. So here on their new website, we have a box that says, "Hi, I'm the new enterprise virtual assistant and offer some help for our customer." So here I'm going to choose to use the first option, which is help find the right car for me. I have a trip coming up that I don't necessarily know what is the right car, what offers are out there, how much should I pay. So I'm going to use the help of the virtual assistant to help me get there. So let's see what that looks like. So first, immediately we see that the bot is able to recognize the question that I was asked, right? Help me find the right car, and it prompts me to enter the zip code that I'll be picking up my vehicle from. So I'm coming from Chicago, so I'm going to do 60653. And it finds Watson is geo aware, so it's going to be able to find the locations and know where your organization is located and bring that back to your customer. So let's go ahead and put South Loop for now. And then it's going to ask me where I'm going. So I'm going to St. Louis, so it's 63101. And short trip, probably about 5-6 hours. And I'm going to select the closest location to me, or to my destination. And now what we're really witnessing is Watson going through using slots to collect information from your user in a very conversational style. So unlike these traditional filling out of forms to tell me about your problems, Watson can collect that information very conversationally, and which we found to really resonate well with customers. So here it's asking me to select my price range that I'd like to pay. But let's say I have another question, right? So let's say, do you have any coupons? So what we're noticing here is Watson is understanding that I'm asking a question that's different from the original intent that I'm trying to accomplish. So in this case, it's trying to get me to answer some questions about budgeting, but I have a completely separate question. Instead of getting stuck on this, hey, that's not what I was expecting, could you please rephrase loop that we see with a lot of our competitors, Watson is able to recognize that and digress to answer that question and give me the response that I'm looking for, but then resort right back into the original point of the conversation to still accomplish that task. So this is something very unique to Watson, and that I always like to point out when I demo the product. So let's go ahead and go through the task and select the proper budget. And so now Watson is going to select some basic vehicle options for me, and it's identified a Hyundai Sonata as going to be the best option for my trip. And so for this case, it's going to ask me if it'd like me to text me the information, right? And these are back why IBM has made those strategic partners with partners like Intelepeer to be able to facilitate multi-channel interaction. So I'm going to go ahead and hit yes to have them text me that information. So Watson is going to now ask me to type in my phone number, which I can do like that. All right. And then right on my phone, we see, oops, there we go. Right on my phone, we see that Watson has sent me a text to allow me to finish my booking and send me a convenient link for me to take that on the go. So when I'm ready to book my trip, I can select that link and be on the enterprise website and ready to go. That is just an SMS interaction, right? How we're able to transfer our customers to the places that they're most convenient with. But as John said, there's use cases where we've also invoked a voice agent to do the same exact things that we see on our help pages, or just the same interaction that you saw with that. So let me show you what a voice interaction, once again, leveraging partners like Intelepeer to really facilitate the SIP trunking that's involved in generating these phone numbers and sending these texts to our customers. So we can call the enterprise virtual agent, and let's see what it sounds like. All right, give me one second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I definitely tested this before. So it's not picking up the audio. It's not letting me share audio while I'm recording. on the WebEx. So, but the point is that the same interactions that we facilitate on our digital and SMS interactions can be taken and out of the box leveraged through voice capabilities. So the last thing I want to show before we close out the demo and pass it back to John is a strong differentiator within Watson Assistant. And what we'll see is, see my demo here. So Watson Assistant can leverage what we call Watson Discovery to really expand the reach of your Watson Assistant. So when normal assistants would get stopped or get asked a question that it's not pre-trained to answer, it would have to essentially tell you, I don't know the answer to that question. Please try rephrasing into something I do understand. But Watson is not going to be satisfied with that or stop there. What we can do is leverage Watson Discovery to expand the reach of your assistant. And let me show you what that looks like. So let's ask, can I use my brother's, I can type, right? Brothers rewards. Can I use my brother's rewards points to maybe book a rental? And right, I don't even have to type out the full question. What we see is Watson is not pre-trained to answer this question. We don't have pre-trained responses for it. So what we do is we go out and leverage content that's already readily out there on your publicly available website and bring that content into the context of the assistant to answer your questions. So we see a short answer here. Yes, you may choose to transfer points, but if I want some more information, I can click into this and it actually brings me to a live enterprise website. This is a true differentiator when we talk about what IBM is doing in this space, because I was able to point Watson Discovery at the enterprise FAQ website, FAQs that we generally have available all across the web. This is their FAQ website, for an example. And I pointed Watson Discovery here, and it was able to take that content and ingest 88 different question and answer pairs that now your Watson Assistant is trained to answer, without having to manually type all that in or manually give Watson the answers to each of your questions. So that is another one of the true differentiators that we see when we combine Watson Assistant and Watson Discovery to really provide a holistic experience for your customers when they're interacting with you on whatever channel that may be. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to John to finish us up here and get to the point we're all waiting for, right? And get to some tasting. So thank you for the demo, and you guys have a good one. John, back to you.
Thank you, Bradley. There was a question in the chat. I just want to make sure I answered it properly. What databases, what type of databases can Watson crawl? It can crawl just about every single database, whether it's a relational database, a document database, NoSQL, graph database, just about everything. It's really good, as Bradley said, looking at web pages, unstructured data, but also the data that you hold inside. But more importantly, we want to get to the whiskey tasting. So thank you all for your patience. And if you do have more questions, please pop in the chat. We'll answer them as we roll forward with Podrick and Hopper from Clonakilty. It's really amazing opportunity to have them with us to just take us on a virtual tour through this amazing distillery. Gentlemen.
What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Slancha? Jonathan again. Thanks everyone for coming. That was back. Might be a bit noisy where I am. I'm in a Irish bar, Barry's in Rochester in New York. So drinking a few beers on this fine Wednesday. But I'm sure after that meeting, everybody wants a drink. So I'm just going to introduce you here. We've got our newest member of the team, Araya Sheridan, who is the new manager for New York, New Jersey, and probably Washington, D.C. as well. She just came on board last week, so we'd like to welcome her to the team. A fantastic acquisition that we've had, and she's going to be an integral part of our development and stuff like that. But again, thanks for everyone again to sit down and listen to us talk shite and drink some whiskey. We greatly appreciate it. So I know Porrig is on here, the boss man. So he's going to get a video playing real quick just to show you the distillery. As some of you guys obviously open the chat up, Araya's going to be answering questions. Some of you might have seen this presentation before, some not, but it's just a tour of the distillery to show you guys where we are and all that. Trust me, the weather does not look like this in Ireland. This was the one-off video we got. So have a look, and Porrig's going to run it now.
Okay, guys, hi everybody. Porrig is my name. Before I run the video, because it's 4 minutes long, pour yourself something to drink. If anybody has got 2 glasses, what would be interesting is to pour the 2 and just sort of take a little bit of a sniff of both of them, and you can see what the difference, because basically the whiskey is the same in both of them. It's just that the finish is different, and the actual alcohol proof is different. So while you're the next 4 minutes, you can just be sort of nosing the 2, and I'm going to come back to you afterwards. And so share this, share a file. So let's see how this works. This PC. Concludes. Yes. Okay. Oh, can't. Your shared file is visible. Who have joined from a video conversation application will be included. Yada yada yada.
Just don't put up your last will and testament on us.
Or your last performance review.
Yeah. Hi, my last performance review is all right.
We can't share this.
The more we drink, the better.
Type is supported. I'm sorry. We can't share it. It's not supported for file sharing. So that's a little bit unfortunate. The last time we did it on Zoom, I think, and we allowed to do it on Zoom. Anyways, not to worry. So the first one we're going to try is this revival. So this is as a result of me meeting some guys in Rhode Island about 2 years ago. They sent us some of their casks to Ireland. They sent like 4 casks. And it's an IPA finish. So, you know, IPA beer, obviously, very popular in the US. So you're on the nose, you're going to get sort of hops, you're going to get mango, you're going to get passion fruit, grapefruit. So you're going to get a lot of these sort of notes on the IPA that you won't get on the second whiskey. So while you're having a nose of that, having a taste of it, we might run a little competition. I have some swag here. I have some of these copper cups. For those of us who are in warmer climes down in Florida, I have some of these Irish coffee mugs for some of them who are a little bit more north. I can't see the Araya. Can you see? You can see the comments, can you?
The comments, yeah. Araya's managing the message, but yeah. So we like to do kind of giveaways and stuff like that, and keep it a bit fun. Jonathan is excluded from this. He knows probably every answer to every question we've done, so he is out of the mix here. But again, we appreciate everyone's time. So we're going to get going. Sorry, the video is not working. We're not sure why, but we hope to get it solved. Can I ask a question actually to the chat? And Jonathan, you might be able to answer this. Are you guys going to be involved in the Atlanta Data Seminar in June? Atlantic Data Seminar in June.
Sorry, say that again. The what seminar in June?
The Atlantic Data Seminar in June.
I'd have to check. I'm not sure. It's a good question.
No, that's fine. It was just a quick check over. We want to make sure we're not crossing over too many bridges over here. So, but as Porrig said, the first whiskey, I think we're doing the IPA finish. So this one we done with Rhode Island. Super unique, super easy drink. Is the video available on the YouTube link? The video is available on YouTube link that Porrig should be able to pull up. The IPA finish was the first IPA finish our second IPA finish we've done. It's quite citrusy on the back end, but quite mild and quite easy drink. I love this in the summertime or when it's hot with some ginger beer or a nice Gosling ginger beer, basically over ice. It drinks super easy, super mild. Some people love it, some people hate it. If you like IPAs, you're like, oh yeah, it's great. If you don't like IPAs, like Jesus, no. So it's definitely something for everyone. But these guys are revival. If you look at the bottles too, we only made 1,200 bottles of this, so it's not super easy find. It's a quite a rare one. Um, you won't find it in too many other places. So we always like to give something new and exciting from our kind of private collection, especially for events like this that you guys can try and guys sample on. Any feedback on the whiskey, or do you love it, hate it? You're not going to offend me. I don't make it.
What I was going to say, Upper, is that we might give away a little bit of a giveaway here to
Of course,
whoever's.
you asked you asked the
living,
question, and so
I'm sorry.
I said you asked the questions.
So
Here we
whoever's
go.
living closest to me, so I'm going to give them the sort of the little copper mugs for their. So I'm down in near Fort Lauderdale in Florida. So whoever's the closest to Coconut Creek in Florida, then they get the first swag. So write your address down into the thing, and then whoever's the closest, leave me your.
We've got some notes in the chat, folks, about feedback.
What we do.
Off. Because I don't think folks can get off mute.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Emmett, it tastes like home. That's a good statement. I love IPAs and Irish whiskey, so it's perfect for me. Thanks, Stephen.
Minnesota, no, I'm sure there's somebody close to Minnesota.
Minnesota, you're probably not. And you guys can't lie either.
Well, I'm going to send it the post, so if somebody gets the post address, they're not going to get it anyway. So
New York City, Buffalo, Rochester. I think I saw. Tampa, Florida is probably closest. Lee is in Tampa, Florida so far.
Tampa is not that far.
Stewart, Florida.
Stewart is definitely closer than Tampa.
Tracy out of the clouds for the win. Then the lacrosse.
Let's the Buffalo people on here.
So Araya is actually from Buffalo. Don't hold that against her. She's represented Atlanta, Georgia. We were just in Atlanta last weekend too. We had an absolutely amazing time. We were down there launching whiskey. Me, Ray, and Paul. We had fantastic food and even better beers and just a fantastic city and fantastic people. So love it. So I think the winner is going to has to be the Tampa.
No, Stewart.
Or Stewart.
Yeah.
Stewart. Yeah. Tracy, we're going to put up our emails on this. Just send us an email and we'll get you the cups sent out. But everybody put in the chat where you guys from, because some places we've never been, some places I couldn't even find on a map. So we'd love to hear where you guys are from and let you know where we're launching our whiskey. But Atlanta, we just got back. It's as hot as the holes of hell. So wasn't good for me. I carry an extra few pounds. Walking up and down the hills and the streets did not do me very well. So, but
yeah,
great. Just the heat kill me. Yeah, I need factor 50 if I go down there again.
You can't come down here then.
But yeah, no. Lancaster, PA, New York City. So yeah, we've such a wide, the Big Apple. We've got a wide plethora of people. But so for all our friends in Buffalo tuning in, our whiskey is available in numerous locations up there. Addie's Fine Wine and Spirits, obviously.
Oh, we've lost him. No harm. How have you lost? we have lost it. Right. We could mute him because he might come back in and I'll do a bit of talking. No, what he was saying is that, yeah, we have a great cooperation with the people up in Buffalo. We, a little aside of the stories, you're all sort of in business and everything. We launched our whiskey about 4 years ago in New York, Metro New York and Miami, which of course is where everybody wants to launch their whiskey because, you know, they're the, you know, two of the greatest cities in the world, right? Of course, the problem is that everybody wants to launch there. Everybody spends thousands and thousands of dollars, and then you're hot for a week, and then you're not because the next hot thing comes along. So we do an awful lot more, and we have an awful lot more success outside of Miami. We have a lot more success outside of New York Metro. We do great in Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, up towards Lake Placid, because I think people are a little bit more attentive to what we do rather than, you know, trying to fight our way along Manhattan and Brooklyn and trying to get into bars and stuff like that. I'm based in Florida, but I've traveled all around the US. We hear somebody breaking in again. But what I was talking about the IPA. So the IPA obviously is a little bit, not everybody likes it, I would say, because if some people, you know, don't like IPAs and the hoppiness of it, but they don't necessarily, you know, go for this as a sort of whiskey. But I think that it's a nice. We add water very slowly. One of the things we do in Clonakilty versus the distilleries is we add water very slowly. So for those people who are like the little science part of whiskey's in a cask around 124 proof. Obviously, it gets into the bottle maybe somewhere around 86, 90. So you got to add water. If you add water very, very fast, it creates an exothermic reaction, creates heat, evaporation. We add water very slowly, and it actually does keep the essence of the whiskey more. About a year ago, I drank this beautiful bourbon. I'm not a big fan of bourbon. Drank it, turned around to the guy who bought me and I said, "What is this?" He goes, "It's Old Elk. They have a bourbon." And he goes, "We do this thing called slow cutting. We add water over 2 weeks." So he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. But they do the same thing. And if you go to Old Elk's website, they have all the science behind the addition of water very slowly to their bourbon. And I have to say, their wheated bourbon, I don't say it very often, but their wheated bourbon is one of the nicest whiskeys I've ever had in my life. So not Irish, but Sláinte anyway. So on the palate of this, you should be getting sort of hops, some grapefruit, honey. I have to say that for all the ladies on the call, you have far better palates than us men. So you could be getting different notes out of this than I would be getting out of. So a lot of the top wine connoisseurs and tasters and whiskey and spirits are all females, and there's a very good reason for it. What else is going on in the chat? Araya, can you hear me? Araya, can you
hear me? Sorry, Craig on the chat. Yeah, the IPA, a small drop of ice really brings out the difference in it. So our drop of ice, drop of water, any of the whiskeys we make, because it's gentle cut, a small drop of water, small drop of ice really brings them out. But look, I'm not going to sit here and tell people how to drink their whiskey. I've seen people drinking with Coke, with Red Bull, with whatever. So I've seen Jonathan drinking his morning coffee. So it's nothing. We're not here to judge. We're not here to judge. What goes on that Yeti cup is your own business. So, but no, we said we love the opportunity to present some great stuff, and you guys have been very kind and very open to it. But yeah, have we tried the Old Glory yet, Parik?
No, we haven't. No. Are you?
Yeah. So the next one on the list is our Old Glory. This one, friends, is really rare. If you look at the bottles, they're numbered 1 to 1269.
That's right.
It's not that's not a sexual thing. 69 was actually how we ran out of it. So, but this is really rare. This was made for a professional rugby team called Old Glory, who play in the MLR in DC, out of DC. It's finished in rum cask, RHUM, which Padraig will explain in a few minutes in more detail than I can. But this one is a cask strength. I believe it's 114 proof.
It is 58.5 multiplied by 2.
116, 117 proof. So this is really rare. You won't find this in anywhere else. It's a pretty much one and done. So definitely something that I think you guys would like. Also, I would say with this one, a drop of water too really helps it.
Yeah, this is basically cask strength. So one of the things that has changed in whiskey over the last sort of 5 years is that people are moving for higher proof whiskeys, and I think there's a lot to be said for drinking better whiskey, but not necessarily drinking a lot of it, but just drink good stuff and don't be drinking bottles of the cheap stuff. So people are moving higher proof, and you get an awful lot of the flavors. So when you add water to whiskey, some of the flavors sort of get dissolved as well as the whiskey gets dissolved. So we brought this out, as Hopper said, at 117 rum cask, so RHUM. It's made from sugar cane, whereas rum, RUM, is generally made from molasses. So the cask that we got, I think they came from French Guiana, and beautiful. This turned out to be really, really good. And we're actually going to bring out probably this year, we have one more cask, and we're going to bring it out as a single cask sort of edition because it was really, really popular. So it is okay. So you get a higher proof, but you shouldn't get too much of the burn in the back of the throat because the whiskey that is in it is actually, really good whiskey. You're not going to get a burn. You're going to get a little bit of heat, obviously, but feel free to add a little bit of water to it. Not sure about the Red Bull. It's not on our website as a recommended mixer with the whiskey, but as you say, knock yourself out. If you have it, you're entitled to do whatever you want with it.
Mix it whatever way you want. I like mine with some Monster in the morning. Just get you there. I see Jacqueline down here. Jacqueline definitely has it in coffee. I know. Once you tried that 117, she was smiling because this tastes familiar. This tastes like home. Oh, Jacqueline, I can see that's the
So
problem
you
with
don't have to
cameras,
add the
man.
sugar to the coffee. Just this.
See. That's why a lot of people turn their cameras off for this because I can judge people. I can be a really good judge.
Part of a panel on discussing trends in the US for various sort of Irish spirits, and one of them was Irish cream liqueurs, and a certain cream liqueur company said that they did market research who their customer was, and their customer, believe it or not, is the mother who drives the kids to school in the morning who puts it in her coffee. So there you go, Irish cream liqueurs. That's their customers, so don't judge, right?
No, but this bottle, guys, is super rare. You will not find this in any of the states that you guys have listed on the chat. You won't find it. It was only made for the Washington D.C. and Maryland market, and we held on to some of it. The obviously Addies have asked us to give us some of our best stuff for these events, and I promise you, you can trawl the internet and trawl the world. This was only available at one place, and you will not find it anywhere. So it's a unique bottle. I hope you guys like it. It's definitely something to brag about because you won't find it anywhere. It's not. We're not the Pappy Van Winkles of the world, but you won't find it. So our next giveaway time.
Stall the ball. Relax. We're going to give away a little giveaway here now. So these are it's a 3-pack of our 3 whiskeys, which generally are for sale. These are the sort of the normal whiskeys we have in the liquor store. We have a single grain, we have a port cask finished with a single batch. I have the official tasting notes in my hand of the Old Glory. If anybody can get anything that's written on here from the official tasting notes, then they're going to get this. So
I don't even know these.
So these are the official notes from our distiller blender. So whoever wants to give a shot at it, whoever gets the best shot at it, then they get that. So we'll see. So I'm going to put my money on a woman to win it, but hey, let's see what happens. Hopper, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. Larry, we're going to send Larry a prize as well. Larry, send us your email. Yes.
Yes.
I'm using Araya's iPhone AirPod things. It's my first time ever using AirPods, so it's been a learning experience. They're not they don't sit very well on my big head, but yeah, they're getting there.
So you can
Yes,
see the extent of our marketing budget. We put Araya in the same place.
Yeah, this is the reason we hired Araya, to help me with technology and get this thing across the line. But go back to the competition. So
Naresh has, yeah, well, obviously Naresh is going to win because Naresh is the only one who's actually put anything in the chat. So by default, Naresh is the winner. Okay, we have a second. Honey Heather. Nope. Naresh has got one word right. So we're going. Soft spice is definitely on the nose. So Naresh gets 1 point for that. Floral, vegetable, and a hint of citrus. Craig, you're going for the wide. Craig is going wide there. You got to be a bit more specific.
Craig, guava, and kiwi. That's high noons. You're a Dave Portnoy fan. That's high noons, guava and kiwi.
Chris gets 1 point for vanilla. All right, so we've got 1 point for both of them. That's fine.
Ireland are actually known for their kiwis, believe it or not.
We're known for what?
Kiwis. Chris, was it Chris? Yeah, it was Chris. Chris said guava and kiwi. Or Craig, sorry, no, it was Craig. Somebody said guava and kiwi. So
kiwi
like,
at all. No.
The home of the guava.
There's something like sweetgrass and some sort of dry, dusty fruit. And
I've heard that, Craig. Yes, I will take that.
Yeah, Craig could get some points for that. I'm getting like cut hay. Do we give dry, dusty fruit cut hay? Maybe. Cinnamon, nutmeg? No. Chris, no. Looks like we're heading for a draw. I'm betting it has barley. Eric, well done on that one. Yes, it does. Lime or mango? No. Cinnamon, nutmeg? No. One for the winner. Golden hue pepper to the spicy wood and sweet notes. Actually, it's very well written, and it's completely wrong, but very well written, Cody. Well done on that. We're going to get you as our copywriter, so maybe that's
So we don't get sued and we don't get hacked.
Oh my God, Jonathan, what are you drinking? Dark bark soil stones. Jonathan, did you have a clean glass? Vanilla, we had clean. Vanilla's on already. Tinge of smoke in the finish. It could be, but it's not.
I get a small bit of the char from the barrels.
I have the official tasting notes here, so I'm going to read them in the end.
The official tasting notes.
Who said soft? Dave Guest has now gone into the lead as he gets 2 marks for saying soft spices.
Now, who made up these tasting notes, Farik?
Paul, our blender distiller, head honcho, not me.
Head honcho.
So it's like gospel come from him, right?
Yeah, this is interpretation, by the way.
See, now you're getting. There's very close. People are getting very close to it. There's they're saying caramel. Is chewy toffee caramel? Do we give a point for that?
We're giving points out. Others like it's like a 4.0 GPA here. Like spices.
Well, let's go back in the notes. I can't remember who's in the lead. Soft spices. Who said soft spices?
Marzipan, Angela. Yes, I've had this come up 3 times with people who tried this whiskey with the marzipan taste on it.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what's there. I'm just telling you what. Apple and marshmallow. No, marshmallow's a great DJ, but he's not in the whiskey.
Stop palate. Stewed apple. We're getting that's a point from Kevin. Well done, Kevin.
No, I'm taking Angela's with the marzipan.
Well, you can give Angela the prize then, because from your own.
Hold on. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Angela Horton, marzipan is the winner. I'm going to vote on that now. Angela Horton, marzipan is the winner.
No, okay, well, I'll give 2 then, because there was one
Fine,
mention
give
of
2.
soft spice. There was one, so I have to give soft spice because that's exactly what's written here. So
We're
whatever it is,
going to
soft
fight over.
spice.
We're going to fight over it. I'm in
I give 2.
Rochester.
How about
Give 2. We'll argue.
peace in the world? We're going to give 2. I have 2 of these, so congratulations. 2 of these on the way out.
There you go.
So I'm going to put my email address into everyone. By the way,
Yes.
we all say anybody who's going to Ireland, please send me an email. Tell me when you're coming. We will get you a free tour of the distillery.
Yeah, definitely reach out. And listen, I'd like to take one quick second to thank Rachel at Addie's and Lewis and Tyler at Addie's in Buffalo. They've been an integral part of putting these events together for us. And it's very easy for us to make the whiskey and make all the stuff we make and get it in front of you great people. And obviously Jonathan as well. And your guys' company, it's been fantastic. And trust me, friends, it does not go unnoticed. We're a very small distillery, a very small family-run and family-operated business. And it means a great world to us to be able to present to people like Ian, have fun and just enjoy the experience of having the whiskey. So again, thank you to everybody, especially Rachel and Jonathan and everyone at Addie's for the opportunity. And sorry, I left out Annie. My bad. This is the lady I was. Annie Wallace was the lady I've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks. I would be shot if I didn't thank her.
I'd shoot
I
you.
don't reason I don't. I've seen Jonathan's face on a few of these. Annie, I do apologize. Annie has been in contact with me and Araya over the last couple of days. Is she on? Is she after coming on? There she is. And Annie, we're going to send you a couple of bottles as well as a thank you.
Annie.
Yeah, Annie comes out of the clouds at the last minute. So Annie, we appreciate it. I apologize I forgot you, but you've been an integral part of it too. And thank you guys very, very much. That's all I've got to say.
I hope that's not all you say, Hopper.
Oh, listen, we're in Rochester here at Barry's Irish Pub, so we're actually doing a whiskey collaboration with the local Webster Fire Department. So I'm up here meeting them guys. We've been here. Porrig and myself were here a couple of weeks ago. Paul, the master distiller, and we're going to do a whiskey for charity. It's a volunteer fire department, so we're going to make a whiskey for them guys, and the proceeds of it go back to the fire department to help people out. So
yeah, just as an aside, this is one of the things that's very important to us, is to sort of give back to the community. So if you have ideas about sort of charity bottlings or whatever, we'd love to do all of that, because it's all about giving a little bit back to the community, right? So anything like that, my email is there. Send me an email. Let's do something with that. No problem whatsoever. Delighted to do it.
Yeah. Sorry, you can
Lucky
see I'm having
Charms
trouble with these.
come out.
My headphones keep on falling out. So it's the first and last time I'll be doing with these things. But no, we'd be delighted. Any charity events, especially any stuff you have in the office or any people in your office, no matter where you guys are in the United States, please reach out and we'd love to donate bottles and donate our time, for what it's worth. It's mightn't be lawful. We'd love to help.
Cool. Are we early? Are we finishing a little bit early? Or are we all done?
Finishing a little bit early.
No, is that Park? Can we get that video up of the distillery on YouTube?
Well, I have it up on YouTube, right?
Technology. We make good whiskey. Technology is not our forte, friends.
Hang on a second now.
And that's all that really matters.
Right.
Can
And
you
what
send
you
the link to Jackie maybe? And
yeah, send the link to me. Put it in the chat. Send it to me, and I'll see if I can pull it up.
Yeah,
well, I can. Okay, what I'll do? Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, we've got some time, right? So I'm going to send you. I will do what? I will send it to you by WeTransfer. Yeah.
And I'll make sure for everybody that's still on too, we'll send out the link as well to everybody in the follow-up note that'll come out. We'll make sure that everybody can see the video of the distillery.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Very greatly appreciated.
Yeah, no, definitely worth. So I'm just going to put it in here now.
And while we're waiting for that, just wanted to let everyone know that if you book a follow-up meeting with us, we will send you another bottle. So we'll be reaching out via email, and I will put a link in the chat right now for anyone who'd like to schedule a follow-up meeting.
Sign me up.
Absolutely. And Hopper, I had no idea you were in Rochester. If I knew, I would be there.
Rochester?
Yeah, I'm in Rochester.
Whereabouts?
Pittsford.
I have no idea where that is. I'm in Webster, Rochester. Is that close to where you are?
Yeah, you're about 20 minutes away.
I'm going to be here at Barry's. Get in your car and come over.
All right. I'll finish up here.
Finish up the call. I'll be here for the next hour and a half. We'll drink a couple of dozen pints.
Sounds good to me.
We're drinking pints.
Araya took me out. She's drinking Guinness. She's got a hollow leg and cut her off in the middle. No, we're here. No, definitely come by, Annie. We'll be here. The Webster Fire Department guys are coming in as well, and we're going to have a small bit of an event and stuff like that here. So.
Oh, that's
amazing. I've just put it in the link to everybody there. It's 1.1 gigabytes, so you know it's not going to download that fast, unfortunately. But there you go. Yeah, no. Pass on my regards to all the guys Hopper in the firehouse.
I will. We'd a great tour there. So, what was everyone's favorite whiskey in the chat? If you don't mind, was it the IPA or was it the rum cask? Yeah, if you have to be, you don't have to be honest. I made it. Jacqueline's thinking.
I've got a sweet tooth. That rum cask is something else. I got to be honest.
There you go. Yeah, the rum was super good. I really enjoyed it. It drinks very well, and if you guys are rugby fans, them guys play on the on ESPN every weekend. They suck, but they play on ESPN.
Yeah, God bless them.
Yeah, they're useless. They couldn't win an argument. But yeah, they're trying.
As we say, they wouldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag.
100%.
But hey, we love them. That's
yeah, they're giving their best. They're giving their best.
Hey, we can ride or die, right?
They're dying.
They're dying.
Oh, they'll be okay.
They're definitely not riding.
It could be worse.
They're like a bicycle with a flat tire, but no, they're going right.
One or two.
One at the moment. It's wobbling to the sides, but the tilt real quick.
Fair enough.
So I think I found the video. So for those of you who are still on, if you guys are ready, I'll hit play.
That's it. There we are.
The story of Clonakilty Distillery starts just outside the town at the Gallyhead Lighthouse, an area of incredible natural beauty. Our fields at the foot of the lighthouse are the perfect environment to nurture and grow the finest of barley, exclusively for our own uniquely Irish single pot still whiskey. Centuries of sea mist, soft rain, and salty ocean spray provide a complexity to the soil that permeates right through to each individual grain. The Scully family, founders of Clonakilty Distillery, have farmed this coastal land for 320 years and 8 successive generations. As custodians of this majestical slice of coastline, we trust our soil, our Atlantic maritime climate, and our untouched water aquifers. At the distillery, here at the waterfront in Clonakilty, we use this barley, in addition to barley carefully sourced from local farmers, to produce our own distinctive new make spirit. Our 3 beautiful copper pot stills have been handmade to perfection by the family of firm of Barrison in Italy, who have a tradition of craftsmanship of more than 100 years. Specifically designed for a triple distilled Irish pot still whiskey, the still house is largely manually operated, thus giving Paul, our head distiller, the opportunity to fine-tune and lovingly handcraft each individual batch. The tall neck stills naturally produce an elegant spirit, while the unique mixture of malted and unmalted barley will give the spirit its wonderful complexity that can only be achieved from an Irish single pot still. For cutting our new make spirit, we source the purest of water from our own dedicated well at the Scully family farm. Remote and unspoiled, the water is drawn from deep within the ancient rock formations by our ocean cliffs. Cold, unadulterated freshness, generously gifted by Mother Nature herself. This cutting and cask filling is done on the family farm at our Atlantic Ocean warehouse, 200 feet above sea level by the cliff edge. It is where we mature the finest of whiskies. Pure, clean air, transported across thousands of miles of Atlantic Ocean, providing a freshness unspoiled by human intervention. This is a magical place with a unique and special diversity of climate. Like the ocean itself, it is ever-changing, from the wild Atlantic storms to the glass calm reflections of a perfect summer's day. In this dynamic, natural environment, the whiskey will only sleep for a short while, instead interacting with the wood and the angels to develop a unique and distinct maritime flavour. Just as the alcohol vapour evaporates from our barrels, the sea salt-laden air permeates through the wood, over time imparting its unique flavour to the whiskey inside. After 320 years of farming the land at the known, we're used to living on the edge of Europe in a place apart. Now is the time to embark on a new journey, to give something back, to share, to craft spirits that feed the soul. We invite you to join with us on this very special journey.
All right, great. Thank you for putting
What a
that.
great video.
I think we may have improved it a little bit. My impression was he was talking a little bit too slow, but hey, you know, he talks much faster than that.
That was not me in the video. That was one of the other owners, Porig's business partner, not me. But
I think
yes.
Hopper, you should go work for IBM, because if you know, those guys can understand your voice, then I think that will be it. We have achieved the singularity.
I do have trouble going through drive-thrus, I won't lie. Not easy, but no, listen, friends, thank you very much for everything. Again, Annie, Jonathan, and everybody at the company and everyone's tuned in. We greatly appreciate it. It's a very humbling experience to be in front of you guys. We're a small distillery, but we appreciate everything you guys do for us. And we're looking forward to the next event. And to Rachel and everybody at Addie's, thank you all. Annie, I look forward to drinking a few pints with you shortly. And take tomorrow off.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it very much. Have a great
guys.
evening.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Thank
evening.
you, everybody.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hello.
Melancha.
Cilantro.